Welcome back to Vegas Insider here on YouTube. My name is Jill Bajol. I will be going over my 3 best prop bets for this Week 16 slate of football. Before I get into it, I want to remind you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's really easy. You click that red button down below because not only will you see my content and my best bets, but you will see the content and best bets from our other creators. And that's how you win money. And you are here to do just that. So remember, click that red button and subscribe. But getting back into my best bets of the weekend, my first prop, I find myself in Kansas City where the Seahawks are taking on the Chiefs, and I'm looking at Geno Smith to have over 1.5 touchdowns. Hear me out on this one. Geno has had 4 out of his last 5 games, 2+ touchdowns, 26 touchdowns on the year, 8 interceptions. He is good at ball management. Seattle is 7th in scoring offense around the league. Even with their injuries that they've been dealing with, I'm not too worried about them being able to score. Kansas City's pass defense has allowed an average of 227 yards per game. They allowed teams like the Texans, Broncos to look good and be competent football teams. Kansas City is 3-10-1 against the spread, and they are 0-6-1 in their last 7 games. The team is good, and they've been dealing with some troubles and struggles, so I expect them to continue doing that with the Seahawks, and a passing offense like the Seahawks can capitalize on it and get that 1.5 touchdown over. The next bet I'm going to be looking at is Minnesota and the Vikings taking on the Giants. I am looking at another quarterback, and that is Mr. Daniel Jones. I like him for an anytime scorer. He has been using his legs a lot this season, and whether that's due to Saquon slowing down due to any injuries or just overexhaustion, we've been seeing Danny Dimes. He has 5 rush touchdowns on the season already. Minnesota is 18th in the league in rush defense, and the team has obviously been very hot and cold this season. We can look at the game last week where they played terrible against the 4-win Colts. Ugly Giants football is not for everybody, and I expect the Ugly Giants football to really trip up this Minnesota team. So give me Danny Dimes using his legs in the end zone. And for my last bet, I'm going to be looking at the Bay Area where the Washington Commanders are taking on the 49ers. And again, I will be looking at another quarterback, Mr. Brock Purdy, under 218.5 passing yards. I think this Washington defense is really going to trip him up. And let's be real here. Purdy hasn't thrown over 218 yards in his last 3 games. Debo being out, I think, is a big key to that, and he's not coming back anytime soon. Since the arrival of Christian McCaffrey, we've seen San Francisco use the ground game a lot more, which I expect to see them use a lot of in this game. Washington is 8th in pass defense in the league. They have been a silent and sneaky defense. I think they're really going to test the San Francisco offense. So much so, there's definitely more film available for teams looking at Brock Purdy. More film allows for teams to practice and capitalize on the weaknesses that Brock Purdy does have and is going to be shown more and more as he plays. Washington, being a good defense, is really going to take advantage of that. So I'll give a quick recap on my 3 best prop bets. The first one being the Seattle Seahawks, Geno Smith, over 1.5 touchdowns, Danny Dimes, anytime scorer, and San Francisco 49ers, Brock Purdy, under 218.5 passing yards. That's it for me. I'll talk to you guys next week.